but a lot of them are real.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already getting chills.
No. But I would hear things.
Yikes.
Oh,
There's something here. And the door opens and I was like, whoa!
I didn't throw him. I used him as a shield.
just that one time. There was nothing there.
Dolls are
Oh,
scary.
God.
Do not
Back
tell me
home
it showed
from
back up.
vacation.
Do not tell me.
Oh.
Hold it.
Sledgehammer.
No,
Ethan!
I'm out.
It hit midnight that ghosts were going to come out because that's
Things are going to
witching hour.
get weird.
Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. We're on a special.
Happy Halloween.
Well, it's not special. We're always on Tuesdays, but it's Halloween. Yay. And we're going to be telling some scary stories today, or hopefully scary stories. I was scared while I was looking them up, and I don't think I can sleep for the next few days because I scare super easily. So we'll see how everyone feels about our scary stories. But a lot of them are real. They're real life stories. So that's what scares me. Who wants to go first with their scary story? No time, girls. Everyone's scared.
Yeah, exactly. Yay!
Okay. All right, Ranji, share your story. Oh, first, I want to share that I have my pumpkin tea. Yay. In the mood for Halloween.
Oh, I have some. I didn't make it. I should have. I just have regular coffee.
What are you drinking, Ranji?
This is carbonated pineapple mango iced tea.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. What are you drinking, Vicky?
I have mint chocolate coffee.
Okay, that sounds
For all the
good.
people that are scared of mint chocolate, I don't know. That's as close as I get to candy this year. I'm not allowed to have regular candy because
I love mint chocolate though. Okay.
Sugar. Yeah, so
sorry, I gotta move my dragon cane. I'm the master of ceremonies, by the way. No one can tell. I'm gonna move my cane.
Why do you have to move it? I liked it there.
I couldn't drink my tea.
Oh,
it was
okay.
in the
It
way.
was in the way.
All right, ready. I'm ready for a scary story. Scare me, Ranji.
Okay, so this isn't exactly a storyline, but I'm going to describe a really scary haunted place that you can visit. Anybody can go visit. And this is considered to be one of the most haunted places, not just in the United States, but in the entire world. Okay?
Ooh.
They call it the Holy Grail of haunted houses. And it is here in Kentucky. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, which is about an hour away from me here in Lexington. I go to Louisville all the time. And this is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
I've seen that on Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've not heard of this. Okay.
Like, oh, I'm excited. This place is creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already getting chills, actually.
Okay. I'm scared. Okay.
So, first of all, if you look up pictures of this place, it just looks creepy. It's this huge, huge hospital, sanatorium. And from 1910 to 1962, Waverly Hills was a tuberculosis hospital. And the Louisville, Kentucky area had one of the worst outbreaks in the entire nation. And so they built this huge hospital to treat the patients and tried to get the epidemic under control here in this area. It was so bad. And thousands of people died there, either from the disease itself or the really creepy, scary experimental treatments that they used to carry out on the patients before the antibiotic came onto the scene to treat it for real. So all of these people just died in agony and pain and despair. So you could imagine how this would be a really haunted place with that kind of energy for so many years. So when you go to these haunted places, usually there'll be specific pockets, or they call them hot spots of paranormal activity in the different areas of the building or the grounds. But at Waverly Hills, it's literally everywhere. You don't have to go searching for pockets, it's everywhere. So there was this notorious death tunnel. They called it the death tunnel, and it ran kind of under the building. And that's where they would shuttle the bodies to the outside kind of secretly when patients died. So, because so many patients died, they didn't want to carry out the dead bodies in front of the patients that were there receiving treatment and trying to heal, obviously. So, they would shuttle all of these corpses through, and you can actually go there and walk through the death tunnel and see it and use your little, was it EMV? What is it, Vicky? Is it EMR?
EMF.
EMF.
EMF,
EMF
yeah,
readers.
electromagnetic fields.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That can kind of pick up the paranormal activity.
right.
So there is a room there. It's room 502. And this is where they would put the really mentally ill patients that had tuberculosis. There were two accounts where people, and these are staff members actually, that unalived themselves, both in that room 502. People,
I
when you
think was
go
one a
there,
nurse or something, Randy? Did it say anything
yes,
about the people? Yeah, one
yes,
was a nurse. Yeah,
one is a nurse, and I'm not sure who the
the other
other
one was
person
me either.
was. So when people go there, some of the things that they regularly see like orbs of light. Um, they hear children's laughter. So there was a children's wing where they treated children. They will see what they call shadow people. And that's where they're just these shadowy figures that resemble the shape of a human, but they don't have faces or distinct features. And the shadow people are seen so frequently and so regularly there that they refer to them as the permanent residents. People will see full-on apparitions. They Let's see, when you're walking through there, you can hear footsteps, you can hear things being thrown, and many people report being touched or actually full on grabbed by something and then looking and having
Yeah,
nothing there.
no.
No
No, no.
touching.
No touching ghosts. No touching.
And
For
like Vicky
sure.
said, this place has appeared on every ghost hunter paranormal show out there because
So,
it's just like one of the pinnacles of a haunted house or haunted building. So, in fact, that TV show, The Ghost Hunters, had to visit twice because
yep,
there was so much
so much
paranormal
stuff.
activity, they couldn't cover it in one trip. Who
Yeah,
wants
Oh.
to
and I
go
think
with
those
me?
are on. I think it's on Prime now, or all the old Ghost Hunters episodes are now on demand somewhere. It's either Prime or HBO Max or something like that, and you can go back and watch that episode on Halloween
Yeah.
night if you guys want to see what this place
See,
is like. It is cool.
this is the thing. I can't do haunted houses. I'm so scared of haunted houses. I
I
used
love
to
that.
throw back in the day, I used to go with I would take this little kid to he loved haunted houses. And so I would take him. But nobody wanted to go into the haunted house with him. So I had to go in. And I would use him as a shield because I was so scared.
Yeah, but
Rachel!
haunted houses are lame. Like this, like that sanatorium is a real place. Like it's not
Right.
Yeah.
made
But
up.
see,
Like they
that's
don't
what I'm
hang,
saying. That's fake. And I'm still scared. I don't know if I
Oh,
could ever do
okay.
a tour through any of these real places.
Have you
I
been,
would,
Randy, since you're there? Have you gone
uh-uh.
to it?
No. And I remember
I
reading
don't
about it
think
a
it's
couple
open to
years
the
ago.
public, is it?
It is. You can do tours,
Oh, it
and I
is.
think you
Oh,
can even spend the night there.
oh, you
Now
need
I
to
want to
go.
go. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to go. I'm a little nervous. Like
I've
I'm
been
getting
I know.
chills
to,
just talking about it.
have you ladies been, since we
So,
all lived in California, have you guys been to Alcatraz?
mm-mm.
I did
I
the
just
Alcatraz tour at night.
that place looks
Yeah.
so freaking creepy. Even just taking like the ferry around it, I was like, oh hell no.
Yep, I took
Mm-mm.
the night tour there, and
Yeah.
that was creepy, and then just being in that place was creepy, and then I did the night tour of, San Simeon too. Did you guys ever go there? Hearst Castle?
I love Hearst
I've
You
been
can
to
do a
Castle.
Hearst
night tour
Castle.
there.
Yeah,
Is it
Yeah, so you
haunted?
can do a night tour
but
there.
I didn't know it
Um,
was scary.
it's supposed to have that one architect lady, I think. Oh gosh, I'm probably remembering it wrong, but you can just go there anyway, and it's just creepy. It's not necessarily a ghost tour, it's just a
Okay.
night tour, but, um, yeah, the one for Alcatraz was I don't know if that was a ghost story. That wasn't really a ghost tour either, but that place just felt you could just
Mhm.
feel, eyes watching you. It was like, "Oh,
I
this
could
is
just
awesome."
I could just feel like that dark, depressing energy just looking at it from the ferry. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh God, it just
Mm-mm.
was
I don't
mm-mm.
Yeah.
wanna go anywhere near even if I could go on a boat or a ferry, I would not. I I would not. I just no. Mm-mm.
You don't like going on
Um,
boats?
no, I have vertigo, so I
Oh,
can't.
yeah, that's right. That would
I can't
affect a
go on
boat, okay.
boats. Um,
Mm,
unless it's a really big boat that goes like no, I still got sick.
like a cruise ship?
Um,
Mm.
yeah, but I still got
Side note.
sick. So, on the lines of haunted places and tours, that I have a story, and it's
Okay.
another famous one. It's called the Axe Murder House. So,
What, Lizzie
imagine,
Borden?
put yourself no, no, not Lizzie
Oh,
Borden. This is,
okay.
so imagine, put yourself in the year 1912. You're with your family. It's a family of mother, father, four children, and two friends of the children. And you go and you do this like whole church day. It was like a children's day or something. And they go in and had a great time. And it was all through the night. And then they got home pretty late. And the friends stayed over too, the two kids. And in the middle of the night, they were all unalived by an axe. Like just a gruesome, gruesome scene. It was all the children. It was just scary. And it was an axe owned by the father. I guess someone, they say it could be multiple people or one person. It's still an unsolved murder. Eight people dead overnight. And they said it was, there's like some weird things about the case as they were investigating it. Like the axe was still, the murder weapon was left at the scene, but half cleaned next to a pile of bacon. Now that just makes me
Uh,
kind of like, what? I don't know what that has to do with it. But that's part of the story, the investigation. And they were just like, what is this? That's weird. Um, and there were a few suspects, like a reverend was a suspect. I think they said there was like a senator who was a suspect. I don't know, but n- unsolved. And so they do tours too. And not just tours, you can do stays overnight for like $400 or something, they said a night.
mm,
It might have gone up to 428. I think I read that too. But
yeah,
so
yeah.
things that happen when people are staying there overnight for the whole experience, they say they hear like children laughing, children crying, lampshades falling, lights flickering, just weird, scary things. But one thing that happened that just everyone's like, whoa. And the owner of the house to this day right now, they're just like, that is something that we do not want happening. We don't want people to think that that's going to happen to everyone who comes and not
Mhm.
come and stay the night because, they got to make their money. So there was a ghost hunter. I believe his name was something Larson. You know what? Let's give him justice. What is his name? Stephen Larson. Stephen Larson was a ghost hunter or paranormal activity hunter, whatever. And he went and
Paranormal
he stayed the night.
investigator, yeah. Mhm.
Investigator, yes. He and some of his friends went to stay the night. And they don't really know what happened, but at 12:40 something, 12:45 a.m., his friends found him with inflicted wounds. He tried to unalive himself. And he survived. But till this day, he will not speak about what happened. He can't bring himself to talk about it.
So he
and
never
that's
told
scary.
anyone what happened?
Mm-mm. He will not talk about it. Not till
Is
this
this in
day.
Iowa or
It's
Kansas
in
or
Iowa.
something?
It's
Okay, I've
it's
seen this
this
too on
the
Ghost Hunters or
I
another
believe it's
ghost
called
show. Like I'm obsessed with that
Villisca,
crap.
I know.
Villisca, Ohio, Iowa. Villisca,
Yeah,
Iowa.
I've
Yeah,
seen that place.
that's the house, and just the whole idea. Like, first of all, murder mysteries, unsolved cases, as scary as it is,
Mhm.
and then like all the paranormal activity, and then somebody who's still alive right now and doesn't want to talk about what happened. Gives me the creeps. I'm scared. I'm never going there. I'm never going near Villisca, Iowa. I'm staying
Why do you
away.
think So why do you think he refuses to discuss it? He's just scared, or he's so traumatized he can't relive it, or what? I
I
mean,
don't know. I mean, the other news outlets and people are saying that he's just so traumatized by it that he doesn't want to talk about it. Um,
gosh.
yeah, maybe he's afraid that
Interesting.
something will happen to him again. But yeah, if you're willing to try and go take a tour there or stay a night, go check it out, people. Not me.
I would.
Not me.
I did the when I was in London, I did the Jack the Ripper night tour. That was really interesting. Although a lot of it now is so built up and over kind of the areas that it's hard to see everything, but there were a couple back alleys and the guy was telling the story about like, this is the courtyard and imagine this light is out and this is kind of, the set area where she was in and they found this, between this time and they kind of go through you go to each murder scene and it's in the middle of the city now and it's really busy, but there's still these back alleys that you go in and it is you, maybe it's the power of suggestion or the storytelling or whatever, but it is creepy and your imagination goes wild and yeah, that was worth every pound that I paid for that tour. So if you're in London, take the Jack the Ripper tour. But it was just really neat because
Back
you
alleys.
see that's the most famous, like, right, murder mystery unsolved serial
Yeah.
killer and yeah, just kind of putting yourself in that headspace and seeing that kind of stuff is whew,
Like
cool.
I like telling, ghost stories and stuff like that. It's okay. As long as I feel like it's not real. I can watch scary
Yeah.
shows as long as I can watch zombie things as long as it's not real. But when it gets to the real stuff, I'm such a baby. I'm such a baby because things in real life happen to me. Like
Mm.
actual scary stuff would happen to me.
Tell us what?
You know,
Tell us
Yeah, like
something.
what?
well, like, well, you know how you get sleep paralysis?
Mm-hmm.
People get sleep paralysis. Well, growing up, Koreans, they would say that when you get sleep paralysis, it's like ghosts and spirits keeping you down and trying to like suffocate you. And that happened to me all the time, except for not only did I get sleep paralysis, but I would hear things in my ear.
Mm.
There was one, like a string of time, period of time when I was 18, 17, 18, and it happened quite often and I would hear things. And I was, the first time I was visiting a friend, is her freshman year in college. So a bunch of us friends went and visited her. And, we stayed out, we partied, and then we were sleeping. And we were all on bunk beds. And I was waking up, or not waking up in the morning. Somebody was trying to wake me up in the morning. And they kept saying, hee hee hee, I'm going to make you clean. And I was like, make me clean? What are you? So I was like, shut up. Because I thought it was my friends playing jokes on me. And I woke up and they're all asleep, like seriously asleep. And I was like, okay, I must be hallucinating. I'm still drunk or something. I don't know. So I went back to sleep. And then I felt like pressure on me, holding me down, and again saying, you don't believe me. I'm scared right now. I can't tell the story. I'm scared. Okay, wait, so
Finish it. Finish it.
remembering.
Wow.
So I kept saying, you guys, stop it. Like, really stop it. And they all woke up
Mm.
like, what are you screaming about? So, like, that happened. And then again, I was living at 19 with a friend, and the same voice while I was sleeping, I'd be waking up, would say things like, "Hi, I'm back."
Yikes.
Oh,
And I was like, "Please go away. Please." Like, I didn't even want to open my eyes. I was like, "Please go away. Please go away." And I was like screaming for my friend who was my roommate, like, "Debbie, save me. Come save me because I can't open my eyes. I don't want to see what's going on." Yeah, it happened. It was
was
scary.
it a
And
female voice or a male's voice or a
a
kid's
female
voice?
voice. A female voice. And yeah, I don't know what it was about, but I made sure I slept with all my crosses, all my rosaries, all my crystals, I just got an arsenal of stuff around me, and I was like, "Don't come for me." Like, I'm protected right now. So, that happened a lot.
Did
It
it
scared.
stop when you moved or when you got older, or like when did
No,
it
that's what I'm
stop
saying. It
happening?
followed me around. It stopped happening when I, put a lot of stuff around me. Like,
Ah, okay.
protection stuff around me, like crosses, rosaries, crystals, snowflake obsidian to absorb any negative stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah, and then talking about it, like, helped.
So that's
And
extra terrifying that once you surrounded yourself with paraphernalia,
yeah,
protective paraphernalia, it stopped.
yeah. So, and then I was
Mhm.
saging everything like crazy. I was like, "Sage, sage, sage," everything, sage myself. So,
I've never
going off my
had
head.
that. I the only thing I probably had is I felt a cold spot, like a real cold spot. Have you guys ever had that happen? So I was
All the
staying.
time, but I just think I'm cold. I never realized there was
Well, no, it's like
something
a
scary.
yeah, it's like it feels like a I don't know, like a ball of ice kind of. I don't know, it's hard to explain,
Mhm.
but um you guys know that now that I'm obsessed with these ghost hunting shows. So there was this one in Europe called Most Haunted that I used to be obsessed with. But um, I was in Germany and my family wanted to stay in a castle. And so, it's one of those overnight, hotel kind of things. And um, so I was like all excited. I was like, okay, mom, we're going to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and we're going to go around the castle and everyone's asleep and we're going to go ghost hunting. And we're going to take our cameras or whatever. And so my mom, you guys know my mom. So she's like, I'm up for it. Let's go. So we waited till everyone went to sleep and we got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and we had our little flashlights. And like back then, I think we had like instant cameras, those, we'd have like cell phone cameras, but we took our cameras with us and we were going around. And this place had like, stuffed vultures in cages and like baby carriages and all this kind of weird sort of decoration in this castle. They had like a full on carriage in the lobby that had like mannequins in it. This place is interesting. I'll write in the comments
Weird.
below if you ever want to stay there, but it's a really cool castle. Like it's authentic castle. So we went ghost hunting and we didn't find anything. And we were coming back down the hallway towards our room and my mom whispered because we were trying to be quiet because obviously everyone was asleep. So we're not like talking, but she whispers in my ear and she goes, Vicky, there's something here. And just the way she said it, I went, what? I like threw her out of the way. I tossed my mother, ran down the hallway, opened the door, slammed the door shut, and sat behind my bed, between my bed and the wall and the boiler, the heater. And it was so cold in there. And I was cranking up the heater and the door opens and I was like, wow, like I'm ready for the ghost to come through. My mom opens the door. She's like, Victoria, like, if it was a real ghost, do you think this door would have stopped them from coming in here? And she's like, and thanks for throwing me under the bus as you ran in here. And I was like, it is so cold in here. It is so cold in here. And she's like, it's 1,000,000 degrees in here. It is so hot. Why do you keep turning up the heater? And I was like, you don't feel how cold that is? And as we started talking about it, it went away and it got really hot in the room. So I don't know if like the little ball of cold,
Whoa.
energy sucking entity or whatever it was, like followed me in there. But yeah, that was the closest I ever had to like a ghost encounter. But my poor mother, I left her to be eaten by whatever that was. It's just like,
It's
And
interesting
Rachel
bye.
threw the
because you
kids.
started talking
Rachel.
about it. I didn't throw him, I used him as a shield. So then I have to see.
Hey, survival of the fittest, people.
Better.
Like,
That's better.
So, Ranji, I have a question. I mean,
Mm.
and Vicky too, you guys had pets and animals, and did
Mhm.
your pets ever see things that
Yes.
you questioned it like, oh, what's there?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Ranji, which one of your babies told you?
So my first Great Dane Yampa, who Rachel lived with when I had him, we were here in Kentucky, and we were in this um, place where they did energy healing and Reiki, and it was
Mhm.
a long hallway with individual treatment rooms that had doors on either side that the practitioners would rent and do their sessions. And I would take him in every once in a while. The lady that did Reiki on me would work on him as well. And so one time I had him in there, and he had been in there many times before, knew the place, very comfortable. We started walking down the hall. Now, this is after hours. She met us really late when nobody else was there, so we didn't disturb anybody else with the dog. And he just stopped in his tracks and stared down this dark hall where there was nothing, and just started barking his head off and refused to walk down that hall. And we were
Mhm.
like, what are you? There's nothing there. And I'm like walking down. I'm like, see, it's safe. He would not take a step down that hall. We did the
Wow.
session in the front of the front of the store, like because nobody was there. Like he would never go down that hall to get in a treatment room. And then he went afterwards and walked down the hall just fine for his like the next session he went to. It was just that one time. And
That
there was
one time.
nothing there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But there
So
was something there.
interesting the kind of place it was though, right? Like they did energy
Right.
healing and Reiki and tarot readings and different things. So maybe something was kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. I
Hmm.
mean, they can
Yeah.
smell things we can't smell. Their senses are, tuned in different ways. So why wouldn't they be able to see something like that, right?
I agree.
I don't know. They say
Yeah.
they say that cats can see ghosts or whatever, but my
Hmm.
cats, I had my dog was the one that did the same thing that Ranji's did. Just one night she like turned around and was like growling at the wall. I know people are like, there's probably like a pest or something in there, but it was like an
Hmm.
interior wall and there wasn't anything in there. And she just started barking her head off and would like growling and barking at it. And even if there was like a pest in there, she wouldn't have growled and barked at it. She probably just would have like scratched or sniffed or something. But she just like lost her shit. And um, yeah, that scared me because it was so out of character. And then she was fine later
Mm-hmm.
and was fine in that same place. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Woo!
See, my Harold was a very
Aw.
spiritual dog and very like he
Mhm.
just soaked in a lot of energy, and people would say like, "Oh wow, this dog is like connected to something." And again, when I was sleeping, I was half like conscious and I just heard voices around my bed. Ranji, this is when you and I were living together. And
Where was
Mhm.
I? In my room?
you were in your room. Yeah. I mean, because
Talking
this
in
is
her ear. No,
nighttime.
like
But there were male voices, there were female
Mm.
voices, different age voices, and it was just a lot of voices. And I was like, "What?" And I was waking up and they're like, shh, shh, she's waking up, she's waking up. That's what they were saying. I was like, huh? And I looked
Who
over to Harold, and Harold
Ooh,
was just staring all around my bed like he's
who are all
talking
these
to people,
people?
like communing.
Mm.
So because he wasn't afraid, I was like, are they friendly, Harold? Are they like my guardian angels? Are they here to protect me? So I felt safe, but it's like there were something around me. I could like
Mhm.
hear them. And
Like a crowd.
um,
Mm.
yeah. And
Or group, I should say.
it felt okay. Like I was like, okay, they're here to protect me. My dog's not
Mhm.
scared. And if they're not here to protect me, my dog's got my back. This little, 10-pound dog's got my back. So it's cool.
I wonder if they were I wonder if they were working on you. I Somebody told me it actually might have been the lady that did Reiki on me that I mentioned in my
Mm.
previous story. Interesting that this has come up, but she said that sometimes your spirit team will work on you energetically while you're asleep. I wonder
Oh,
if it was
that's
something.
interesting.
Oh, see,
Mm.
they're not spirits aren't always scary. Yeah, they
Right.
don't have to be scary. I don't need to be scared of them. Like scary ghosts that mess with your mind. Yeah, no, I don't want them. But like the ones that tell me that they're back, I don't want that. I don't want that girl ever to come back into my life. But the ones that work on me energetically, yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's funny
want to
because
be
when we're
able to
looking
see
at
ghosts.
stories, yeah, when we were looking up stories, I was like, some of them were not ghost stories, but they were scary stories. And the people,
Mhm.
I just read it, I was like, well, this person's committing a crime. This is this is scary because he's got a body in the trunk. It's not like a ghost story. It's like this guy's insane. So I had to keep going through.
Mhm.
Those are the real people are scary. Ghosts sometimes, what are they gonna do? Well, I guess that one
Y-
guy in the house got all
You know what's scary?
cut up or whatever.
Dolls. Dolls are
Oh
scary.
God. Oh no. No, 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 no,
But you
no.
usually think
I'll
of
take
like those
a clown over a
porcelain
doll.
dolls or something like that. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a real story. This happened in
Okay.
Houston.
Okay.
2014, this mother for Christmas got her daughter an Elsa doll. Now, this
Mm,
Elsa doll says lines from the movie and sings Let It Go, all in English. You just press a button on her necklace and it sings
mhm.
it. And there's no option to change languages or anything. And for 2 years, it's working fine. But then all of a sudden, it started alternating speaking Spanish and English and singing in Spanish and English. And they're just like, what is going on? Like, is there a button? There was no button to change it. And they had the doll for 6 years and they never had to change the battery ever. And somewhere in down the line, it just switched completely to Spanish. And so
Hmm.
they were creeped out. The mother and the father, they were just like, this is creepy. No, let's get rid of it. So they bagged it up. The dad's like, "Oh, I'm going to bag it up and throw it out in the trash." They
Hmm.
threw it out. But then a few days later, ends up on a bench in their living room. And they're just like, how is this doll back here? We threw it out. They asked the kids, did you take it out of the trash? No. Like, of course, their kids wouldn't go digging in the trash. And so they're like, okay, this is creepy. This is so creepy. So the dad double bagged it, wrapped it up in other stuff, and then threw it out and watched it go on the trash truck. He's like,
Hmm.
goodbye, Elsa. And they left for vacation and forgot about it. They
Do
got
not
back
tell me it
home from
showed back up.
vacation.
Do not tell me.
Their daughter said, Elsa's back. She's in the backyard.
Oh,
Oh.
And they were like, okay, is somebody playing a prank on us? But it's the
Uh,
same doll because the mom said the daughter had drawn something on Elsa's arm with a marker and the same mark is on it. So it's the original Elsa. So they're like, there is something wrong with
uh,
this doll. And so
mm.
they're like, even though we throw it out, it keeps coming back. So what they did is they
sledgehammer.
mailed it.
Sledgehammer.
They wrapped it up and mailed it to a friend of theirs in Minnesota or something like that.
An enemy
And
of
their
theirs? You're
friend
not going to send this
no,
thing
Right,
to
I
a
was gonna say
friend.
not cool.
so the friend received it and he tied this Elsa doll to the guardrail of his truck. And it's still there. And he says, if this thing ever disappears or goes back to Houston, they'll send it back to me and we'll ram it into the lake or something. But it's still tied to his truck till this day. So in
Because
2019, they mailed it to him.
but now it's attached to him. That's why.
I was
It's
gonna say
attached to
that's
his
If
truck. Yeah.
what if he gets rid
y'all.
of it? It's going to keep coming back.
It could go back to him.
If you
Oh,
guys have
Yeah.
a creepy haunted doll, please don't mail it to me. That's I won't
But
receive
how
it and tie
scary
it to
is
my
that?
car.
Yeah. People had, interviewed them saying, you really don't think it's a prank? They're like, no, like it's the original. It just keeps showing up. And then like the whole never having to change batteries, it's changing languages.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Dolls
why I'd be
are
lighting it on fire.
scary.
like
Yeah. There's
burn
one
it
really famous
down.
there's a famous doll, haunted doll in Florida. Oh, what's its name? I watched there was a show with Ozzy Osbourne and his son Jack, and they would go and they were traveling around and they
Mhm.
went through this town in Florida, and they found this doll, and you can buy little replica dolls of it and take it with you. And they were using it as their mascot, and Jack kept doing it just to like piss his dad off, and would show up everywhere. He's like, Dad, you can't throw it away, because you throw it away, it's gonna come back and haunt you. And like Ozzy of all people was scared of this doll. Oh, I have to Google it now. I remember that it's a famous haunted doll in Florida. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go look it up.
Vicky, is it the one that they kept in a cabinet for a long time or something?
I think so. I think so.
Why are dolls so scary?
I don't know. And clowns and dolls are just.
Yeah. Ranji, do you have any other stories?
Robert the doll. I'm sorry. His name is Robert the doll.
It's a male doll?
This is what he looks like. Can you guys see? It's almost like Ranji's little sailor outfit. He's a
Oh, he's got his little dog pal.
Yeah, and his face is kind of worn off, but he's like, it's a legendary evil doll that's been haunting the citizens of Key West for over 100 years. Ooh, I wish I would have looked this up earlier. I totally forgot about this. What's the story?
I'm so glad I didn't know about it while I was in Key West. I would have been scared.
I like dog people. He has a dog. How bad could it be?
Right.
He has a dog.
He seems so sweet with his dog. And,
yeah.
So, okay, Ranji, what was the story that you have?
Okay, so it's the paranormal stuff that really honestly scares me, because I feel like, I know like the Chainsaw Massacre and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't want to be chased, by a serial killer or anything like that. That would be scary in a different way. The paranormal stuff really gets me because it feels so out of your control. It's like you could try to run from a serial killer, but what are you going to do if your child gets possessed? You have to call for an exorcism, right? So that kind of brings me to this story. It talks about an exorcism in Indianapolis. So another sort of local place. I'm about 2 hours here in Lexington, Kentucky from Indianapolis, and I have work accounts in Indianapolis, so I go there.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Start hitting these places up.
Okay, all right.
I'm desperate for a cheap thrill. I need the adrenaline rush, the dopamine. Okay, so last year, the Indianapolis Star published a lengthy report on a family terrorized by 3 children allegedly possessed by demons. The account of LaToya Ammons and her family tells the disturbing stories of children, you ready for this one? Climbing up the walls, getting thrown across rooms, and children threatening doctors in deep, unnatural voices. It would seem like something out of a movie, a work of fantasy, except all of these accounts were more or less corroborated with nearly 800 pages of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted in more than a dozen interviews with police, DCS personnel, psychologists, family members, and one Catholic priest, thrown in for good measure. So one of the more chilling sections of the report includes a segment about the possessed 9-year-old. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker, the nurse, the 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backwards up a wall to the ceiling.
No.
I'm out. He then flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand. Where's Rachel?
I think she passed out.
I'm done. I can't. Walking backwards. I can't. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to go to sleep because of this story.
And this is DCS report. What does that stand for? Child Services? Something Child
Department
Services?
DCS.
DCS, Department of Child Services?
Child Protection Services, CPS.
That's CPS. We'll have to look that up.
No, but there is
later.
a DCS. It's something to do with Department of social
child
or
social work. It's a social work maybe department or something with child services. Anyway,
if anybody knows, please let us know.
Yeah,
Yeah, educate us, people.
DCS. Another segment of the piece reads, the 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she sometimes felt as if she were being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move, Rachel.
Yes. Yes.
He found you, people.
She said
No.
she heard a voice. She heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes. That's a
So
real
for all the
account.
people who thought I was crazy, like it's not. This stuff happens. This shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry.
See,
Like,
that's what
I'm telling you, this
scares
stuff.
me.
Yeah, same.
So
Yeah,
was I
the
getting
crime
trying to be
stuff.
possessed? Was someone trying to possess me? Is that what was happening? I can't breathe.
Maybe. Because she was going to make you clean. She was a clean ghost.
She's gonna. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
She was a maid that
Okay.
was killed by her master and she left the room undusted. I don't know.
Well, so I did talk to Father Luke. We talked about him last episode. People catch up
I'll
if
go
you
for
don't know
it.
I
about
feel like
this.
I'm
And
well acquainted with Father Luke.
Father Luke had said to
Okay.
me when I told him the story, he had said that, are you doing bad things? Could be your own brain telling you that you need to clean
Oh,
up your act, that you
I
have to
thought he
be
was going to say,
better.
are you doing drugs?
I thought he was going to say the devil was visiting you because you were like a bad
No, he was
child.
just, listen, it could be just, yes, it could be spirits telling you, trying to protect you, trying to make you do better because maybe you're doing bad things. It's like, Father Luke, you know I'm doing bad things. I told you all the time that I'm going out
I
drinking
keep
and
trying to come to
partying.
confession
Every
and you keep
week.
saying it's not a big deal.
So, but I had questioned it. Was it my own subconscious saying, is it my own voice telling me these things? Am
Did
I,
anything ever
am I,
move? Because there's a theory in paranormal psychology that poltergeists are attracted to young, like teenage-esque energy, usually females, that are
oh,
like an
so they stopped
anchor.
haunting me because I got old? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
that's why I was kind of saying. That's why I was saying, well, did you get older? I was just kind of curious. 19's a little bit old, but it's usually a teenage girl that is the, I don't know, what's the word?
Victim?
Attraction, the magnet, it's more
I mean,
like
it
they,
started since I was little. Yeah.
oh, well, probably not then. And if stuff wasn't flying around, like knives weren't flying out of the drawers, it was probably not poltergeist
Nothing was
anyway.
flying. No, that would have been,
But
might have been, that might have been a little too much for me. Like,
then Father Luke's not helping you. You're like,
no.
we need
But
holy
yeah, that
water
kind
and
of
we need
stuff
it
is
stat.
scary. Poltergeists and exorcisms and oh yeah, those are because yeah, they're really
That was
well
the movie where I
documented, like
couldn't
you
sleep. When
said.
I saw the first Poltergeist movie, I didn't sleep for weeks after that. I couldn't watch any of the other ones because like I had a tree outside my window, like I had all the, I had the TV with
Because
the snow and like
isn't Poltergeist off of a real thing? Or no, that's the exorcism.
yeah, the
The
Amityville
Exorcist.
Horror House was real, and I think Exorcist was based on a real story,
Yeah,
but
the
I
Amityville
don't
I
think
know is
Poltergeist.
that's a new real one. Um,
Ooh, I want to go there too.
but
I want to go to the Lizzie Borden
yeah.
house. That's my next one on my trip, I think. Yeah,
Mm. Um,
that would be
Ranji,
cool.
I have a question for you. Or maybe your mom didn't know these stories, but do they have urban like scary legends in India? Because I grew up with some scary urban legends in Korea and
So my
scary.
mom lived in India for a year and a half, and she said there were some paranormal things that she experienced that really um, left an impression on her, like a lifetime impression on her. Um, there was this, I'm trying to think about what they are now. Oh, I forgot about this. I should have asked her before this show. Um,
Well, you can ask her and then just put
yeah,
up a short for us. Let us know.
I will, because there's definitely some things that really don't make logical sense. Some stories she has from
Mhm.
over
Mhm.
there.
because nothing scares me more than an Asian ghost or an
Ring
Asian
ghosts are scary.
female ghost. They're
That's where that
so
the ring
scary.
ghost came from that.
The
Yeah.
ring, yeah.
Long dark hair
The
and the
Koreans call them Cheonyeokgishin, which is an unmarried, like virgin ghost. But yeah, they're always in like their white, old,
Whoa.
traditional, all white garment, dress, long black
Mhm.
hair covers your face, and they're just always very scary. And
Yeah.
like when I was visiting Korea, I saw them. I saw one with my cousins. I swear it was one. It was very scary. And there's a lot of urban legends about, or it's very famous. There's a bridge in Korea, or that connects some cities. I'm gonna butcher the name. It's like Chongnyo something, but there's a bridge
Mhm.
or street. It might not be a bridge. It might be a street, and it's not very well lit, and it gets foggy a lot, and not a lot of traveling on there. But people who do go on there, they say there's always this one Cheonyeokgishin that appears, and it's very famous in Korea. And a lot of celebrities have talked about it, how they've gone and they've seen it,
Mm.
and just
Hmm.
anyone who goes there have seen her.
Wait, so you saw
And
you saw this apparition or ghost or whatever
I
it is.
did
Like,
when I was little.
how did that make
Yeah.
what did you do? Feel anything, or like, I need more information about this? You can't just
Scared
be like,
out of
"Oh
my
yeah, I saw a
mind.
ghost."
No, scared out of my mind. And I was with my cousins, and I was very little, and I didn't know it was what's called a Cheonyeokgishin. I was just so little, and I just remember seeing this like female figure in the white hanbok, which is the white Korean traditional garment, and usually worn for funerals. And her hair was just long, and I was just like, oh, she's kind of creepy. She was standing in front of, it was at night. We were playing. We were out all night. We came home, or we say out all night. I was like 7, so it was like dinner time.
2 a.m.
But
She
it was
goes rolling
dark.
in.
The sun was going down, and it was time to go back. And I was going back to my cousin's house with them, and they just like froze, and they turned white, and I was like, what? And they're like, her, and pointing at her. And I was like, I know, she's a little creepy. And they were like, run! And I was like, and I got scared because she turned around and what,
Oh,
I mean, it was just hair and scare. And I was just like, oh my
Oh,
gosh, don't leave me. Like, it was scary.
was
Scary.
this out in the country, Rachel, or was this in Seoul?
No, it was in Seoul.
Where were you? It was. Oh, okay. Tell me where
Yeah.
later. I'm gonna go look for her. I'm gonna go take my
I
equipment.
have no
Go
clue.
look.
It's wherever my
Oh,
aunt
okay.
aunt
Darn.
lived when I was little. Can't remember. I'll have to ask my aunt.
Okay.
I'll have to ask my cousins if they remember this.
see, I feel
Um,
like I want so badly to be psychic, and I want so badly to be able to like see ghosts or have clairvoyance, and then I hear this stuff, and I'm like, maybe maybe I don't really want that as a part
no.
of
Watching
my
the Sixth
life.
Sense. Yeah, and you see the people under the
Yeah.
bed and stuff, and oh, yeah.
No.
I mean, life
No.
is hard enough. I'm not sure I need, maybe I don't need that after all.
But that's Koreans for you too. They will tell children scary, scary things to make them come home straight from school or tutoring centers and stuff like that.
Hello,
Um,
Germany. We invented Hansel and Gretel. There's a witch that's gonna eat your ass if you go in the forest. Like kindergarten was invented by my people to scare children. Like
yeah.
we got
No,
it down
it's so
too.
scary. I'm
Yeah.
but
There's an
also,
opera
Vicky,
by Wagner about the oh, what is it? Shoot, it's the spirit that rides on the horse and kidnaps children that are out at night.
oh, I've heard that.
Oh, I
I have heard
forgot. But
that.
yeah, they wrote an opera about it because why not? That's scare your children with opera as well. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's some
no,
spirit
it's
that
just
rides through. It's like has like a wail. It's like Wah! And then it like kidnaps your child and takes them away. And
so Vicky, when you go to
yeah,
Korea, there's one more thing I'll tell you, and I think it's just everywhere.
mm,
You know how
mm,
there's mirrors and mirrors, reflection, and so
mm,
you see like multiple reflections?
mm-hmm.
In Korea, they tell you not to look at your fourth reflection or
Because
your
the four is the bad
11th.
number. Mm,
No, there's so two of them, don't look at them. The
okay.
fourth one if you make eye contact with your fourth one, something will happen to you. Let me tell you exactly what it is. I
It's
will
like
tell
the
you
Bloody Mary
what
when
it
we were kids, right? Who went in their mirror at midnight and said Bloody Mary,
something
Bloody
like
Mary, Bloody
that.
Mary? Did you do it,
Um,
Randy? I
Yes,
did
it
it.
never worked for me. Did you?
No, me neither. Remember when you were a kid and staying up till midnight? It was like you were sure when it hit midnight that ghosts were going to come out because that's the
Things were
witching
going to get
hour.
weird. Yeah,
um,
yeah.
Right, right.
so
Now it's like
it's your
any other
fourth
hour.
and your 13th reflection. Do not look at your fourth or
Ah,
13th
4th and
reflection.
13th.
They
Oh, gotta
move at
count.
will. They'll move separately from you. And if you make eye contact with them, you will end up dying soon.
Oh,
So
sweet. That's nice. Good
don't
to
make
know.
eye contact with your fourth or your 13th
Okay.
reflection. Okay, so that's our show
All
for
right.
today, everyone.
Little tip for everyone.
Maybe nobody else is scared by this, but I am going to have trouble sleeping. So
All the lights are on tonight.
we just got into the spirit of it. Hopefully, everyone listening, joining
Spirit.
us, watching us is enjoying this. So tell us your best paranormal activity, ghost story, anything urban legends. Leave it in the comments. Let us know. Scare me even more. Okay. So thank you, ladies, for
Happy
sharing your stories.
Happy
Halloween.
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween, everyone. And we will see you next Tuesday.